first of all, hey, it's Mickey. But second of all, I owe you guys an apology because in my last video that I uploaded in December, I told you guys that I was coming back with a regular schedule, and obviously I have not come back with a regular schedule. So I lied. I'm the worst YouTuber of all time. I'm so sorry. In my defense, I am a full-time college student majoring in English. This has been the hardest semester of my life, and I genuinely have not had time to film. So with that being said, I have been reading extensively actually, because that's all I do in college. But I'm still behind on my Goodreads goal. And you know that doesn't matter, but I am somebody, I like completing lists. I like completing goals. And I actually lowered my goal this year, I think, I raised it because last year I set my goal for 50 books and I read 120 or something like that. So I was like, oh man, I can read 75 for sure. 75 books in the year 2021, and I set it for 80. Excuse me, I set it for 80 books. And I have read 17. It is the end of April, and I have read 17 books. So I'm actually 7 books behind schedule. So I thought, what better way, the semester's winding down, coming close to the end. Summer is upon us. What better way to help kind of boost my reading goal than a 24-hour readathon? So that is exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm actually filming this at 11:36 p.m. because I wanted to just get the ball rolling and get this started. I'm gonna actually start at midnight, but I just figured I would introduce the books that I plan on reading and all that stuff. So the good news is I went to bed at 10 a.m. this morning and I woke up at 8 p.m. tonight, so I'm not tired at all. So I do plan to stay up for as long as I can and get some Starbucks at some point. So with that being said, let's introduce the books. So for some reason right now, I'm really kind of in like a mystical fantasy kind of mood, which I haven't been in a while, so that's good. But I kind of did a healthy mix of books here because what happens when I'm in the mood for fantasy is if I read a bunch of them at once, I get burnt out really, really quick. And that kind of goes for me in every genre. So I like to kind of mix it up. So the first book that I am prioritizing is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. And as you can see, I'm over halfway done with this, but I've been reading this for literally weeks. And it's not the book, I'm actually loving the book, it's literally me. I read so much for school that like I don't read my own personal books because at the end of the day I'm like, I don't want to read anymore. So yes, we're starting with The Starless Sea, and this is going to be my biggest priority. I plan on finishing it. I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with this book, and while I understand that it is confusing, that's actually what I loved about The Night Circus. I love like putting the puzzles together when I read a novel, and that's kind of what Erin Morgenstern is doing. She's giving you a bunch of snippets of different stories, and you kind of have to piece them together and figure out, okay, why did she put this in there if it seems like it seems completely disconnected. It seems like it has nothing to do with the main story, but it does, and she does it masterfully in her writing. It's just stunning. Her imagery is stunning. I love all the literary references that she has in here already. So yes, this is going to be my first priority, and I actually think I can finish this probably in the early hours in the morning, so that's exciting. So the second book, The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta, and from what I know about this book is, so it's about a mixed race gay teen in London who actually becomes, or he gets involved in drag, and his drag name becomes The Black Flamingo. And this book already has awards. This is a new release. I think it came out in 2020. And it's told in verse. One of my favorite shows is RuPaul's Drag Race, and I just love and support the community so much. So I'm so excited to read this and focus on this story and kind of break up the fantasy a little bit with something that is more real and contemporary. When I crave something weird and strange, I crave A.S. King. And it's interesting because when I read A.S. King, I read it in 10th grade. I read Still Life with Tornado, and I did not like it. I actually unhauled it, but now as a more mature reader, I read The Life of Gloria O'Brien and Ask the Passengers, and this might be the only two that I read. But I loved both of them so much, so I would really want to give Still Life another chance. So that being said, I want some A.S. King, and I own most of A.S. King's works. So I chose Please Ignore Vera Dietz. When I watch videos about A.S. King, people either really love A.S. King or they don't like her. And this one always comes up as like the middle of the pack, kind of. Like it's not people's favorite, but it's not people's least favorite. So I kind of just wanted to see where I fall within that. And I guess it's more contemporary, but there might be some aspects of the supernatural or something like that in here. I could be completely wrong about that. But it's about Vera, who is in love with her best friend. His name is Charlie. So Vera is in love with her best friend, and his name is Charlie, and she's kept a lot of his secrets, even the horrible ones, and even after apparently he ruined everything and betrayed their friendship. And within the book, Charlie dies. People start questioning Charlie's integrity, and Vera has to decide if she wants to clear his name or if she shouldn't, because she's still grappling with the fact that he betrayed her. So I'm actually excited about this. I'm not sure if this is a young adult book. I wasn't sure if it was young adult or if it was middle grade, but it is young adult, and the font is quite large, so I feel that I can read this in a relatively short amount of time. So these are the ones that, so let me hold them up. So these three are the ones that I want to read physically. I also have an audiobook that I want to read. And when I choose audiobooks, typically I'm pretty strategic. I like to read audiobooks that I don't own the book, because all of these books that you see behind me, I purchased with my own money, or somebody gifted them to me within my family or friends or whatever the circumstance may be. So somebody has spent their money on all of these books. So I try to make sure that I read all of these books with my own eyes, respect that person who gifted the book to me, or respect myself who bought the book. Because people work hard for their money, you know what I mean? So I try to read books that I do not own. And so I actually chose for my audiobook, and I will put a picture of the cover somewhere on the screen, I chose Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. I'm actually really not sure what Catherine House is about. I know it's supposed to be gothic. It has at least on Scribd, it has a 3.5 star. So on Goodreads, it has a 3 star. So it seems to be also kind of middle of the pack. But from what I can tell, it's about this school that you have to work really hard to get into. And if you do get into it, a very select few individuals get into it, but if you do, your whole tuition, room and board, all of that stuff is free. But I think there are some customs and stipulations with your admission that are kind of weird and strange. So I'm actually really excited to read this, because I feel like this is more on like the fantasy supernatural aspect, and I have these two that are more realistic and contemporary. This one might have some hints of supernatural just because it's A.S. King, but I have no idea. So I feel like I have a good healthy mix. I highly doubt that I'll be able to finish all these books just because I'm not the fastest reader, but if I do, we will deal with that when we get there. So I am going to update you guys when I start in about 15 minutes. And before we get started, I just wanted to plug my boyfriend here. He just reached affiliate on Twitch, and I know this is insane. He's actually in the middle of doing a 24-hour stream right now while I'm doing this 24-hour readathon. And he's playing all kinds of scary games and Valorant and Overwatch, and I'm actually on. And his Twitch is Brizify _ BRIZIFY _ and we would be so thankful if you guys would give it a watch and a follow and a subscribe. He's really funny, and raunchy. Also, before I forget, going off that last clip, he is actually planning on playing Overwatch later, and I haven't said it before, but I'm actually a gamer myself, not like him. He plays on like PC and all that crazy crap. But I play console and Nintendo Switch, and Overwatch is like my favorite game, like one of my favorite games, at least PvP. And I probably will play with him, and I probably will record a section of it on for this vlog. So if you guys would go watch it and give him a view or a follow or a subscriber, you know, it would really help so much, and it would really brighten his day, because he puts a lot of time into his Twitch. So if you guys would show support, it would be really appreciated. 12 just now, so the readathon has officially started, and I have decided, as you just saw, my house is quite messy, and I am actually really not a messy person. It's just been really lived in lately. So I've actually decided that I'm gonna take the next hour, couple hours, and listen to an audiobook and clean up my house a little bit. So I'm gonna start with Catherine House, and I changed my shirt because I'm cleaning. And I'm gonna listen to as much as I can, and after I'm finished cleaning, I'm going to update you guys again and let you know what I'm thinking. Hey guys, so I have just been cleaning the house, and I took off all my makeup, so now I'm fresh face. I got my pajamas on, and so I just wanted to give you guys a little update about Catherine House. So it is currently 1:36 in the morning, and I have managed to listen to, it's an 11-hour audiobook, so I've managed to listen to almost 3 hours already, so that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna try to tell you what I've kind of gleaned from it. The main character of the book, her name is Inez, and she has gone to this school because there's basically no other place for her to go, because we don't know exactly what's happened in her life yet before she got admitted into Catherine House, but we know that she was on the run and she was kind of in trouble. She had to apply to get into this prestigious school, even though her grades weren't that good. In high school, they were decent. Catherine House, it's a school, but it's also an estate, and the book describes it as, it's not technically secondary education, but it's more prestigious than any Ivy League school. So we're talking like Harvard and Yale and Dartmouth and all those places. And at the same time, the Catherine House has a very large reputation, because it has produced presidents, it has produced prolific authors, it has produced prolific artists and things of that nature. So it's a very prestigious school, and Inez goes there, but she very quickly learns that there are some really weird things happening there. Like, they're not allowed to contact their parents. They basically have uniforms. Because she's a freshman, they don't let her eat sometimes. And it's very strange. But a really strange scene just happened without giving anything away. At Catherine House, you can major in certain concentrations, very much like college. There is this concentration that everybody goes to Catherine House for, and it's called new materialism, and there is something that is called plasm that is invented and is really mysterious, and it's like a new type of energy that they're learning about, and it's very weird. I don't understand it yet, but basically 4 months into their first year, the first years are basically forced to have this plasm in their body, and it kind of I don't know if brainwashes is the right word. I mean, I guess it is, but it just makes everybody behave differently. But Inez, her first time doing it, she didn't actually get her full dose, so she's not like everybody else, and so that's like where we're at. She's kind of like noticing like everybody's acting really weird, and even the upperclassmen act really weird. It's actually really good. I'm really liking it so far. Like, I low-key kind of want to keep listening, but I need to do some like physical reading with my eyes. So I think right now I'm gonna actually continue reading Starless Sea. I will update you guys when I get some more reading done, and I'm going to try to explain Starless Sea a little better. Like I said, it's a very fragmented novel. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to explain the main storyline without adding in those extra pieces, because the whole puzzle isn't complete. I don't think it will be complete till the end of the novel, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna get back reading, and I will update you guys when I have, I don't know, maybe another 50 or 100 pages read. So yeah. The hot girl. Sounds so pretty. Sounds so pretty. Look at her eyes. Is it really a Mikireads vlog without her animals in there? No, it is not. Baby girl. It's about 3:15 and I have actually read just about 50 pages. I'm not trying to rush through this. Like, I'm really trying to take my time because there's a lot happening, and this is not something that you can just read mindlessly, but it is getting so good. Like, I do not want to put it down. I'm going to try to explain this as cohesively as I can, because like I said, it's a very fragmented story. Like, you have the main storyline with those characters, but a book will be introduced, and then you'll get like a section that's like a story out of the book, and you have to figure out like how that relates to the main storyline. It's actually really cool. I really like that it's like a puzzle. So the book begins with the main character, Zachary Rollins, and he is a graduate student. I can't remember what, what school right now, but he is basically studying video games. He does study video games, and like he's writing his dissertation on video games and things like that. He loves to read, and so in his free time he will go to the library and just read all day. One day while he is there, he finds this book, and it is called Sweet Sorrows, and as he's reading the book, he finds a story about himself in the book that nobody else could have known. Like, it's not even like a special fantastic story. It's just kind of like a weird story that like happened in his childhood that nobody would know about, and because of that he knew that the character in the book in the situation was him. He goes on a quest to figure out like who wrote this book, where this book came from, because it's not authored, and through searching he can't find that an author or anything, but he basically finds pictures of a woman at a party who has like a necklace that has the same symbols as the book, which is a sword, a bee, and a key. He goes, apparently this party takes place every year, so he's like, I have no other options, like it's not gonna hurt to just try to get an invitation to this party and go in New York. And so he goes, and he ends up meeting the woman. He learns that there's a place called the Starless Sea, and the best way that I can explain it is it's like an alternate universe where every story that has ever been written or was ever meant to be is kept in this one place. And so the way to get to this one place is there are doors all over the world. When he was a kid, that story in Sweet Sorrows was him finding a door, but he didn't open it. And so when he's at New York and he gets to the party, there are people in the world that want that book. He actually escapes them and finds a door, and he goes into the Starless Sea, and he stays there. And time works really differently there. He has a love interest that I love, and I want them to be together so bad. But basically the story is just trying to save the Starless Sea because something happened and people do not inhabit it anymore. There was a woman that was an acolyte in the Starless Sea, and she escaped, and she actually started destroying all the doors, so people cannot get there anymore. Morgenstern really plays with the theme of fate in this book, and everything that is happening is meant to be happening right now. And it was always meant to be happening. Something happened where Zachary has lost his love interest. Dorian is his name. And they're going to try to find him and save him. But along the way, we are meeting characters from these stories, from these other books. They're real characters that come into the main story. And I know I'm not doing a good job of explaining it. It's so trippy. But there's like this one scene I love where there's Zachary has a wardrobe in his room. And Dorian is like, have you opened the wardrobe? And Zachary's like, no. And Dorian is like, well, there could be a Narnia in there. And so he opens the wardrobe and like they go somewhere else. And it's just cool little snippets like that that like really keep me engaged. But the part that I just stopped at, like, we just met a character who has been in several stories. It's just really good. And I know people either love this book or hate it. Like, there's really no in between. It's pretty polarizing, but right now I'm really loving it. Now, I can definitely critique it and say that there are plot holes in it for sure. I don't completely understand everything. The way, like, for instance, the way that time works is kind of strange. But at the same time, I just think this is such a unique universe that she is creating. It is unlike anything that I have ever read before, and I have read a lot of books and a lot of fantasy books, and this does not have many tropes with an alternate universe that I have seen before. I'm just loving it. Like, I'm just having a great time reading it, and I'm taking my time reading it. This book has 494 pages, and I am on page 342, so I have like 150 pages left, which is definitely doable. I can definitely do it this morning. I just wanted to pop in here and tell you guys that I'm really loving it. And if you like, the end of this book is gonna decide like how I truly feel about it. But right now, if you like books that I'm having trouble comparing it to anything because it's not like anything that I have ever read. But if you like books where you have to use your brain and where you really have to pay attention to every detail to try to figure out like, oh, that's this person, or they're from this story, or like, because I've had a lot of theories so far, and some of them have been right and some of them have been wrong, but I've just been having like a good time like guessing. And so if you like books that are like fantastical like that, and there's a lot of mind work that goes into it, I would suggest this. I really like this. And if you, I'm just telling you right now, if you liked The Night Circus, you're gonna love this. I love her work. It just takes me for a trip, and this is more trippy than that. So I'm gonna get back to it. I will update you guys in a little bit. We have secured the goods for breakfast. Also, Starbucks coffee. Also Winnie. Hey guys, so it is currently 6:10. Me and my boyfriend took a little break to go get some breakfast and get some coffee because, like I said, he's going for 24 hours and I'm going for 24 hours, although I probably will nap later. So the good news is I'm only about 70 pages from the end of the Starless Sea, and as I stated before, we left off with the Zachary going on a quest to find his love interest, which is Dorian, in the Starless Sea. And while he is there, and while Dorian is there, because the story kind of switches between those two perspectives, which has not happened in any other part of the novel. And the novel is broken up in acts. We learn that without spoiling anything, we learn that there are more to characters that we have met previously than what it seems. And so, at this point in the novel, Zachary is still looking for Dorian, but he has found out a lot of other things along the way. So, I'm really enjoying this part of the novel, and so I'm gonna sip on my coffee and finish the rest of this novel. Alright guys, so it is 7:45 And I just finished my first book of the readathon. I really enjoyed it. I'm so confused a little bit by the ending. This whole book is about stories and where does a story really end? And does a story truly end? And it grapples with those kind of questions. And so I really enjoyed this. My rating on this is difficult because while I really loved it, I'm still confused. So I think I want to put it at a 3.5 star. And the reason for that is I loved it, but at the same time, I have a lot of questions. And so now I'm actually excited because it's daylight outside and I just learned that it's gonna rain all day. So it's the perfect day to be doing this. And so now gonna actually take my dog on a walk. So now I'm actually gonna take my dog on a walk and I'm gonna listen to some more Catherine House while doing so. Hey guys, I hope you can see me okay. I've retreated into the bedroom to lay on the bed for a little bit. Okay, so it is currently 8:30 in the morning and I just took my dog out and all that good stuff. I think I'm gonna read. I think I'm gonna start Please Ignore Your Deets by A.S. King. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm pretty tired, so I'm gonna read as much of this as I can until I cannot keep my eyes open anymore, and then I'm probably gonna take a nap. So I'm gonna get started on this and I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking. Hey guys, it is currently, let's see, 3:15, and as you can see I have my makeup on and my hair all done and that stuff. I ended up passing out about 9 a.m. and I woke up at 1, so not too bad. I'm hoping I'll still be able to sleep tonight, but I really needed that. So before I ended up passing out, I actually did end up reading Please Ignore Your Deets, and I need to read a little bit more before I update you guys on what the story is really about. Right now we're just kind of getting an introduction to the story and the characters, especially Vera and like what her life is like. Also, I knew I was gonna pass out, so I ended up reading some more of Catherine House while I was falling asleep and then while I was getting ready. And I only have 4 hours and 45 minutes left, so I'm listening to it on double speed. So I'm still liking it, and I'm pleasantly surprised that this is a story that is taking place over the whole course of Inez's time at Catherine. I kind of just thought that, just based off the description, that she would be there, I don't know, maybe her first year or first few months and realize something was wrong or whatever, but we're actually in her second year of education, and she has been exposed to plasm now, and it has kind of changed her perspective on everything. She's kind of brainwashed too, but it's weird because she can still remember her past and everything. It just feels really distant based on the book without trying to spoil anything. But she's in her second year right now, pursuing her studies, and her studies have gotten better after she took the plasm because she was actually about to flunk out. So I'm still curious on where it's gonna go. Inez is very curious about what exactly plasm is because we still haven't gotten a definition at this point. I'm really excited to keep reading that. I'm actually gonna go and play Overwatch with my boyfriend on his stream for a few hours. I will update you guys when I start reading again or I have something worthy to film. Hey guys, so I just finished playing Overwatch with Sammy and it is now 5 p.m. so I have 7 hours left in my readathon, which I'm feeling really good about. I've already read a book, and also I'm 2/3 of the way through another book, and I've started this one, so I'm feeling pretty hopeful and optimistic about it. I just ordered food. I'm waiting for it to come, but while I'm waiting, I'm going to read some more of Please Ignore Your Deets. It's kind of chilly today, so I'm gonna put on a nice fireplace on my TV because it's the closest thing I have, and I'm going to record myself reading, and I will let you guys know what I'm thinking when I get a little farther along in the book. Okay, hey guys, I apologize for the angle, but I'm just like really comfortable and I don't want to sit up, so I'm sorry. But I just actually had dinner and I read exactly 100 pages of Please Ignore Readathon, and I actually feel like I am in a better position to explain a little bit what the book is about without giving spoilers away, which I haven't really been given spoilers anyway. But the book is about, as I stated before, the book is about a girl named Mikireads, and she just turned 18. It's interesting because we're getting both flashbacks and also present day, but we're also getting chapters from other characters in the book, including Charlie himself, who is dead. So it's a really interesting dynamic. But essentially, Mikireads' best friend, Charlie Kahn, has died. We don't know how yet, but the narrator, or Vera, I should say, Vera alludes to the fact many times in the novel that it is because of his new group of friends that he made. We learn that 5 months before he died, Vera and Charlie actually had a really big fight because Charlie was getting attention a lot and he was starting to hang out with the troublemakers in school, and he was kind of pulling away from Vera, and so they actually broke up their friendship, and he died. And so Vera is grappling with both the fact that, you know, her last words to him was they weren't even friends anymore and they were in a fight, but also the fact that she still loved him dearly and she lost him. But at the same time, there is a secret that Vera knows about Charlie that we don't know yet, and it makes it seem like it's a bad secret, I would say, but people have opinions of Charlie that he was doing some bad things to animals and things like that, and I think Vera knows the truth, but she won't say it. She won't clear his name, essentially. So we're kind of figuring out and going back in time and figuring out what exactly happened and how he died. So far, I'm really loving the book. I love Vera as a character. A.S. King has this ability to make her characters so dimensional, and she has this way of like giving them such unique and detailed characteristics that really make the characters come alive, at least in my mind. So I'm really enjoying both Vera and Charlie's character because they're really multifaceted people, and so I'm gonna keep reading, and I will update you guys when I get a little farther. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. So it is Sunday. It's just about 9 a.m. and let me tell you what happened last night. So last night, Sammy got off his Twitch about an hour early. He got off at about 8. He was so tired. I hadn't seen him all day, really, so I was so tired. So we ended up crashing about 9 o'clock last night. We woke up just before 7. So I'm actually feeling pretty well rested. How are you feeling?
Feeling good.
So this morning I just went and got us some Starbucks. I actually, ooh, I just hit the fuck out of my lamp. I'll cut that out. So I actually went to Starbucks this morning and I got this new drink that I wanted to try. Isn't she so pretty? It is a lemonade with a strawberry base on top with 4 pumps of raspberry in it. And it's good, but I just wanted to show you guys how pretty it is before I mix it up. But anyways, I got breakfast from Wendy's, so we're gonna eat. But we have this bowl here. And the other night, Sammy was telling me the absurd amount of like classic Disney movies that he has not seen. So in this bowl, we have mostly classic animated movies, just princess movies, other good movies that he hasn't seen, but we also have like some of the good oldie but goodie cringy Disney movies like Sky High and Minutemen and all these, because we're that old. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have him mix it up. He's gonna draw one and that's what we're gonna watch this morning. So he's mixing it up right now. Isn't that a cute little bowl? It could be anything. Okay, is that the one you choose?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Pinocchio.
So we're watching Pinocchio this morning. Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. We're starting Pinocchio now. I knew this movie was old, but I didn't know it was that old. So, are you excited?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, we're gonna start it. You just finished Pinocchio. What did you think?
It was good. I liked it.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Rating 1 through 10.
7?
It had some funny moments, huh?
I mean, yeah, it was funny.
But yeah, we liked that, and it's only 10:30 in the morning, so we still have like a good amount of morning left. Hey guys, so I've been working for the past couple hours, but I'm starting to feel a little unmotivated. So I'm not sure which holiday it was, but my aunt got me this cute little jar as a gift, and it just has like kind notes in it. And I'm kind of feeling like I need to hear something nice right now, so I was gonna open one with you guys. So they have all these little cards, and they're all like sunflower themed, so I'm gonna choose this one and see what it says. This is perfect for right now. It says, "Don't be so hard on yourself." I really needed to hear that. I love this gift so much. This is such a thoughtful gift. I just want to complain for a minute because I don't know if any of my viewers use Canvas for college. I know high schools are starting to use it now, maybe even middle schools, I don't know. But I'm having to redo a bunch of assignments right now that I've already done because they're just gone. Like, I remember doing them, I remember submitting them, but they're just gone from Canvas. And I can't find them, and my professor can't find them. And luckily she's letting me redo them again, but like I'm having to redo them again, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. Like, I've actually completed all the homework that I had scheduled today, but now I'm just redoing assignments that I've already done. And one of them is like watching a movie, and it's not like a movie, it's like a documentary about the environment, which is cool and entertaining and interesting and all that stuff, but I'm having to like answer a bunch of questions about it, and I don't want to do it again. But I don't want to take a 0. So I'm going to do it again. This is the last assignment I have. Probably going to take me an hour and a half, but I just want to get it done so I have the rest of the day to read and do what I want to do. So, hey guys, so it's currently 7:47. Plot twist, I finished my homework at about 1:30 and I took a nap at 2 and I woke up at 6. And so now I just got out of the shower and Sammy and I are about to eat dinner. I have actually been listening to Catherine House throughout the day. Not much has happened yet. I have 2 hours left of this book, so I'm listening to it on double speed. So I have an hour left. And I'm actually like, nothing has happened yet that has made the character question, you know, and you know, weird things are happening, of course, but like nothing has happened yet where Inez is like, there's something seriously wrong here, even though we can see it as the reader. And so I'm just kind of like, okay, what's happening? But she's on year 3 of her schooling, and she's kind of figured out what plasm is at this point. Without giving anything away, it's basically the manipulation of an object or a person or anything like that. And plasm is in all things, so you can manipulate anything basically. And The director of Catherine House just met with Inez and told her that they want her to switch to new material concentration, which is studying plasm. They want her to stay for another 3 years to do that. Basically, they don't want her to leave Catherine House ever. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm kind of, like, it was really good at first, but I'm like kind of waiting for something to happen. Like, come on. However, I do love Inez's love interest. I think they're really cute together. But now, Sammy and I are gonna eat pizza. I know that we've been getting food this entire vlog, but we don't have groceries right now. And if you guys don't know, the weekend that I'm filming this is the weekend of April 24th. And people on social media have dubbed this weekend National Rape Weekend. And so I haven't really felt comfortable going out alone or going out in general. So we've just been kind of trying to stay at the house, because it's not just women, it happens to men too. We've just been trying to stay safe and all that good stuff. But anyways, Friday, I forgot that Lee Bardugo's show, Shadow and Bone, dropped. So tonight, me and Sammy are actually gonna watch the first episode of that with dinner, and I'll tell you guys what I'm thinking. It's a convergence of Shadow and Bone in both Six of Crows, which the Six of Crows duology is my favorite. It's so good. I just want to see how true it is to the books, so I'll update you guys after we watch the episode. Hey guys, it's me popping in from the future, and I just want to let you know that I'm a clown for thinking that I was mentally stable enough to do a 24-hour readathon. So I chose to do a weekend reading vlog instead, to completely avoid scrapping this video, because that's just mentally better for me right now. So I hope you guys don't mind that this is a little bit longer vlog for me. It's actually Monday night, and I'm sorry I look like this, but I just wanted to close out this vlog because I'm sure by now you guys are tired of seeing my face. Even though my video isn't exactly what I planned for it to be, it is something, and I do feel like that I got a decent amount of reading done. So I'm just gonna do a quick recap for you guys. So first, I finished The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, and while I really loved this book, I'm also an English major, so I have to look at it from a technical standpoint too. So without bogging you guys down too much with literary jargon, what I will say is the world that Morgenstern is trying to craft is so massive. I almost feel like she bit off a little bit more than she could chew, and there was a lot of plot holes. And so while I really loved it, I enjoyed the story, I felt that it was a very original concept, I had to knock it down for a 3.5 star because I do feel like it could be confusing at times, especially for somebody who's just maybe starting fantasy or anything like that. I probably wouldn't start with this one. And the next book I read was Catherine House, which I actually finished last night via audiobook, and the picture of it will be up on the screen. I don't actually own a physical copy. I started off really liking Catherine House, but nothing happened. Like, even in the last hour, it was just so anticlimactic, and I was just waiting for her to just like blow up, like not literally blow up, but just like expose the school for what it is, free everybody from their delusions about the school, and it just didn't happen. And so I didn't like it at the end. It had started off really strong, but it was just so anticlimactic, and for that I gave it a 2 star. Of course, I've read 2/3 of Please Ignore Readathon. I can't give you a rating because I'm not done with it yet, but I'm really loving it so far. So with that being said, if you guys watched all the way to the end of this video, you are a real one. If you watched even a little bit of this video, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch me read and go through many emotions and many things and just sit in my house. You guys mean the world to me. I love making this content. So I actually have a very different video coming soon than anything I've ever done on this channel, so I'm really excited about that. And thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.